Like, it's been tough. You know, my life has been tough over the last decade. It has. And when I read a message like that, I'm sorry that I'm tearing up like a baby. But when I read a message like that, it makes me feel like it was worth it. You know, like all the shit that happened to me and all the stress and the mental shit that I go through on a daily basis. Going to a segment called My History with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I'd like to put you into the perspective of a kid growing up in the 1980s, okay? There was tons of stuff for kids to do. You know, video games were very popular, but at the very same time, more in real life stuff was more popular, like action figures and stuff like that. Cartoons on TV was way more popular at the time than video games. And so I was always into cartoon tie-ins with action figures. It kind of started way early with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and then it carried off into G.I. Joe, the Transformers, and it just kept continuing on over time. Now, I was a fan of all that stuff, and then I was going to school, and I had a few friends in school, and one day, you know, I see my friend at school has I think it was a backpack. And it said Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I was like, that's the weirdest sounding thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, the other things that I done, okay, G.I. Joe, it's military guys. Kind of, you know, army men. Generic, it makes sense. Actually kind of realistic. Okay, not really if you watch the show, but you know what I'm saying? There really is military guys. Or, you know, Transformers, it's robots that transform. It's simple. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Each one of those words doesn't really jive with the other. You know what I mean? Like, can you really tell me, seriously, that whoever thought that idea up wasn't like drunk as shit or high as hell or drunk and high at the same time? Now, at the time, I didn't even know that the Ninja Turtles was based on a comic book. Everyone knew Ninja Turtles as a cartoon show. And I had not watched the cartoon show. But my friend told me about it. He was like, yeah, man, it's the best cartoon. It's so awesome. You got to watch it. And they have all these action figures and things. So one day on a whim, you know, I'm getting ready for school. And I say, all right, I want to see what this is. Now, back then in the mornings, I have no idea if they still do this now. But back then in the 1980s, in the mornings, early mornings, they would play cartoons for kids to watch while they were getting ready for school. And one of the ones that always played was Ninja Turtles. So I started watching it in the mornings, and I liked it. I thought it was weird because they all, you know, one of them, you know, Michelangelo talked like a surfer. I was like, why is he talking like a surfer? He's a turtle. They're not at the beach. This is weird. But it definitely had a lot of things that appealed to kids. Pizza. I mean, every kid loves pizza. And pizza was the major focus of the show, that they're always eating it. They're talking about it. You know what I mean? Ninjas. Of course, kids love ninjas and anything that has to do with martial arts and combat. So, of course, having ninjas with weapons and they're fighting all these robots. The other thing was they're fighting robots. So because they're fighting robots, unlike G.I. Joe, where they're fighting humans and they can't really hurt anyone because if they did, they'd be like, oh, God, it's gory. It's not for kids. In this show, they're fighting robots. They could chop the robots into pieces. It doesn't matter. They're robots. So it kind of took away some of that violent overtone that other kid shows had because you're not hurting other creatures. You're just destroying robots, you see? So I liked the show. And of course, one of the coolest things about the show was that it just kept adding characters. It was like, first it was the 4 Ninja Turtles of Splinter, April O'Neil against the Shredder and Krang. Then there's Bebop and Rocksteady. Then there's the Foot Soldiers. Then there's Leatherface, or excuse me, Leatherhead. Then there's the Rat King. Then there's Baxter Stockman and the Mousers. Then there's the mutant dino creatures from another dimension. And then there's this, and then there's that. And it was crazy. They just kept extrapolating upon this Ninja Turtles universe, creating this giant idea of all this stuff coming together. Now, again, little did I know, it was based on comics, and all those characters were from the comics. I didn't know that. I never actually read the original Ninja Turtles comics until many, many, many years later when I was aware of their presence, okay? Everything back then was the cartoon Ninja Turtles. It really was. So I became a fan of the Ninja Turtles, and I wanted of course, all of the action figures. You go to the store, you go to the toy aisle, half the aisle is Ninja Turtles action figures. So, of course, you start collecting them, and I had the Turtles, and I had Shredder, and I had, all the classic ones. I had, did I have the Technodrome? I think I had the Technodrome. I never had the Turtle Van, though. I'm pretty sure I had the Technodrome. But I think that's the only one I had in regards to, like, a play set. I don't think I ever had the Turtle Van. I think that drill thing that comes out of the ground that the foot soldiers are in, I think they sold that, but I never had that. I'm trying to remember exactly what I had. I basically had, like, the basic action figures. The Turtles, Splinter, April O'Neil, Casey Jones. And then I had the foot soldier. I think I had 2 foot soldiers, because obviously you want to pretend like you have an army of foot soldiers. If you have one, it's not many. So I think I had 2 different foot soldiers. I know I had Shredder. I don't even remember if I had Krang, because Krang was a big figure. It wasn't regular size. He was a big one. You know what? No, I take that back. I know I had Krang, because I remember playing with the little brain figure. So I had Krang, or a version of Krang. So I loved them. I played with them, And then, of course, everything went Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles exploded in popularity at the time. They had Ninja Turtles breakfast cereal, which was basically like Lucky Charms, only the marshmallow pieces looked like Ninja Turtle heads and slices of pizza. But it tasted just like Lucky Charms. They had Ninja Turtles, like, puff snacks. You think potato chips, popcorn, puff snacks. So it was puffed Ninja Turtle face with orange dust on it that was supposed to taste like pizza. It tasted like shit. It did not taste like pizza. But I ate them because they were Ninja Turtles. They had Ninja Turtles pudding pies. Okay? If you ever had one of those fruit pies from back in the day, it's a baked pie, and inside you have a filling like cherry, blueberry, apple. So they had one. It was the same exact pastry, but inside it was green colored pudding that they said was mutagen. And then they frosted the pie in green, gooey frosting. So you ate it, and it was like the most disgusting thing you've ever eaten. But it was Ninja Turtle, so you were happy. You were smiling. It was like the ultimate sugar rush. It was absolutely gross, but you just kept eating it. Then, of course, there were tie-ins, where the Ninja Turtles had tie-ins with pizza. Like, if I remember correctly, I think it was Pizza Hut who had the tie-in meals. You would go there, you'd get your own pizza, and it would have the Ninja Turtles meal with the Ninja Turtles cup and other things that it would come with. So it was like the real deal. It was like, dude, Ninja Turtles tied in with everything. I had a Ninja Turtles backpack that I went to school wearing. I had Ninja Turtles, everything. Like, seriously. Ninja Turtles t-shirts, anything you wanted was fucking Ninja Turtles. Okay? So, I was all into it. And then you might say, well, how does this tie into, like, video games and things for me? Well, there were 2 key things that happened. First of all, they announced a Ninja Turtles movie that was going to be live action. And when they announced this, all the kids went nuts. You're like, live action? You mean the Turtles are real? We're going to get to see how they would look if they were actually real, as opposed to just this cartoony thing that we've been watching for years and years on TV. And yes, as cheesy as those movies are, they absolutely blew us away as kids when we went to the theater and we saw those Ninja Turtles. Those outfits look sick. To this day, I will watch the first Ninja Turtles movie and I still think those outfits look good. Not the second and third. They are terrible in those. But the first movie they actually tried. And those Ninja Turtle outfits look really, really good. Okay? But the other thing that happened that was a big tie-in thing was video games. Now, there was a Ninja Turtles video game on Nintendo. I never played it when I was a kid. I actually had not been interested in Ninja Turtles at their inception. It was a little later when I jumped on the bandwagon with all my friends. So I kind of missed out on the original Ninja Turtles game. And thank God I did. It's infamously one of the worst games ever made for NES. People hate the shit out of that game because it's so brokenly difficult. Okay? I jumped on when my friend at school, who was a friend of Ninja Turtles, had introduced me to Ninja Turtles. One day, he's like, hey, did you ever play the Ninja Turtles video game? And I was like, no, I don't have, well, at that time, I don't know if I had a Nintendo or not. I was always behind the times when it came to game consoles. So I was like, I didn't know if I had it or not. I was like, no, I never played it. He goes, well, you should come with me and play it. And I said, what do you mean, come with you? Go with you? Come with you where? I thought, it's video games. You play them at home. He goes, no. He says, we got to play the real Ninja Turtles game. I said, what's the real one? He goes, the one that's the cartoon. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I never heard of this. He goes, no, there's a place you can go. It's called an arcade, okay? And in the arcade, it's actually like way better games. It's all really good video games that look great. They look way better than what you can play at home right now. And there's a Ninja Turtles game that just came out. It looks exactly like the cartoon. You can play as all 4 turtles. Each turtle is a little different. You play against Bebop and Rocksteady and Baxter Stockman. All the classic characters from the cartoon are in this game. It even has the theme song and everything. They say Cowabunga. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This sounds amazing. We got to go. So we did. We skipped school. We went right there. No, we didn't. That's a lie. Obviously, back then, what did we do? Well, I talked to my parents. He talked to his parents. We scheduled that we would meet up at the arcade. That's what we did. We all met up at the arcade. And basically, he and I played Ninja Turtles. It was about maybe an hour we played. I think my parents each gave us like $5 or $10 to play it. So we're playing it. And the thing was, I was hooked. I couldn't stop playing this game. I loved it. It was like everything I'd ever wanted. It was like the cartoon come to life. My eyes were wide. My jaw was dropped as I played it. My friend went off to play other games in the arcade. He was like, hey, come play this with me. Come play that with me. I was like, nah, I'm going to stay here and play Ninja Turtles. So he went off and played everything else while I was just standing there playing Ninja fucking Turtles the entire time. I was so, I don't want to say like starstruck, but you know what I mean? Like I was so in awe of the game. I just didn't want him to leave it. So, I got to the end of the game, fighting Krang, who's the next to last boss. I beat him. Oh my God. Now, by the way, I say I beat him, but it was random people all playing. It's 4-player co-op. So it was random other kids joining during the time that I'm playing. We're all playing together. We beat Krang. Oh my God. Here comes the motherfucking Shredder. The end of the game, you know Shredder's the last guy. I ran out of quarters. And I turned to my dad and I'm like, Dad, can we please? And he's like, we've been here he's like, I told you we were only going to be here an hour. We've been here over an hour. We got other places to go. We can come back another day to play it. But Dad, I'm at the end. It's Shredder. We're in the Technodrome. There's the portal to Dimension X. Shredder has clones all over the screen. All I got to do is beat the shit out of this tin head, and I've beaten the game. And he said, no, we have to go. And we left. And I was scarred for life, and that is why I'm an asshole to this day. No,